Good morning, class. So, students, in the previous session, we started with the term industries. We discussed about the various types of industries. Today, we'll be studying about the distribution of major industries. So, students, the world's major industries are the iron and steel industry, the textile industry, and the information technology industry. The iron and steel and textile industry are the oldest industries, whereas the information technology is an emerging industry in the world. The countries in which iron and steel industry is located are Germany, USA, China, Japan, and Russia, whereas the textile industries are concentrated in India, Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. And the major hubs of the information technology industry are the Silicon Valley of Central California and the Bangalore region of India. Today we'll be discussing about these major distribution of the industries. The first one we'll be discussing is about children the iron and steel industry. Like other industries, the iron and steel industry also comprises of various inputs, processes and outputs. This industry is also known as a feeder industry, children, because the products which are produced in these industries, they act as a raw material for other industries. That is why iron and steel industry is known as a feeder industry. The inputs for the iron and steel industry includes raw material such as iron ore, coal and limestone along with labor, capital, site and infrastructure. The processes of converting iron ore into steel involves many stages, and as the output we get steel. This steel is tough and it can be easily shaped, cut and made into wire. Special alloys of steel can be made by adding small amounts of other material. Steel is often called the backbone of modern industry, children, because almost everything we use is either made up of iron and steel or has been made with tools and machinery of these metals. So since everything includes this steel, so it is known as the backbone of the modern industry. Ships, trains, trucks and autos are made largely of steel. Even the safety pins and the needles you use are made up of steel. Oil wells are drilled with the help of steel machinery. Steel pipelines transport oil. Minerals are mined with steel equipments. Farm machines are mostly steel, and whereas the large buildings also have a steel framework. So you can see what important role steel is playing in our life. Then children, before 1800 AD, iron and steel industries were located where raw material, power supply and running water was easily available. Later on, this ideal location for industry was placed near the coal fields close to the canals and railways. And after that, since 1950 till today, iron and steel industries are located on the large areas of flat land near the seaports, because by this time steel works had become very large and iron ore had been imported overseas. So now raw material was easily available. So these industries were situated near the sea ports. If we talk about India, iron and steel industry was developed taking advantage of raw material, cheap labor, transport and market. In India, raw material was available, labor was available at very cheap rates, and these were the reasons for the beginning of iron and steel industry in India. All the important steel producing centers such as Bhilai, Durgapur, Burnpur, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro are situated in a region that spread over 4 states. Those are West Bengal, Jharkhand, Orissa and Chhattisgarh. The Bhadravati and Vijayanagar in Karnataka, Vishakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, Salem in Tamil Nadu are also other important steel centers utilizing local resources. Nextly, children, we'll be discussing about one of the most important iron and steel industry which was established before India's independence, that is about Jamshedpur. So, children, before 1947, that means before India's independence, there was only one iron and steel plant in our country, and its name was Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited, or TISCO. It is a privately owned company. After independence, the government took initiatives and set up several iron and steel plants, but before that, it was the only iron and steel plant in India. TISCO was started in 1907 at Sakshi near the confluence or the rivers Subharnarekha and Kharkai in Jharkhand. Later on, Sakshi was renamed as Jamshedpur. Geographically, Jamshedpur is the most conveniently situated iron and steel center in the country. Sakshi was chosen to set up the iron and steel plant for various different reasons. Then later on, children, in Jamshedpur, several other industrial plants were also set up under TISCO, which produce chemicals, locomotive parts, agricultural equipments, machinery, cables, wires, etc. The development of iron and steel industry opened the doors to rapid industrial development in India. The industries they started developing at a rapid rate. Almost all sectors of the Indian industry depend heavily on iron and steel industry for their basic infrastructure. The Indian iron and steel industry consists of large integrated steel plants as well as mini steel mills, and it also includes secondary producers, rolling mills, and ancillary industries. Then, children, after Jamshedpur, we'll be discussing about Pittsburgh, which is an important steel city of United States of America. The steel industry at Pittsburgh enjoys various locational advantages. Today, very few of the large steel mills are in Pittsburgh itself. They are located in the valleys of Monongahela and Allegheny rivers above Pittsburgh, along the Ohio River below it. Finished steel is transported to the market by both land and water routes. The Pittsburgh area has many factories other than steel mills. These use steel as their raw material to make different products such as railroad equipments, heavy machinery, and rails. So, students, this was about the iron and steel industry. The second oldest industry is the cotton textile industry. Let's discuss about that. So, students, weaving cloth from yarn is an ancient art. Cotton, wool, silk, jute, flax has been used for making clothes from the earlier times. So, textile industry may be different on the basis of the raw material they used. Fibers can be natural or man-made. Natural fibers are obtained from wool, silk, cotton, linen, and jute, whereas man-made fibers include nylon, polyester, acrylic, and rayon. The cotton textile industry, children, is one of the oldest industries in the world. Till the Industrial Revolution in 18th century, cotton cloth was made using hand spinning techniques and loom. Later on in the 18th century, power looms were facilitated the development of cotton textile industry. Earlier, the people they used to weave clothes with the hand spinning techniques, but after 18th century, they introduced power looms were introduced, and firstly it was introduced in Britain and then later in other parts of the world. Today, India, China, Japan, and USA are the important producers of cotton textile. Then, children, India has a glorious tradition of producing excellent quality cotton textiles. Before the British rule, Indians they used to hand spun and hand woven clothes already had a wide market. The muslins of Dhaka, chins of Masolipatnam, calicus of Calicut, and gold wrought cotton of Burhanpur, Surat, and Vadodara were known worldwide for their quality and design. So, before the British rule, India has a great market of cotton textiles, but the production of hand woven textile was very expensive and time consuming because every work was to be done with Hence, it involved a lot of hard work which made it expensive. Now, hence, traditional cotton textile industry could not face the competition from the new textile mills of the West, which produced cheap and good quality fabrics through mechanized industrial units. Now, the Indian textiles, since they were handmade, they were time consuming and expensive, whereas the textile which was produced in the West with the help of machines, that was cheap and also good, so the Indians, they were not able to face the competition. And the first successful mechanized textile mill of India was established in Mumbai in 1854. Initially, children, this industry flourished in the states of Maharashtra and Gujarat due to the favorable climates over there. But today, humidity can be created artificially, and raw cotton is a pure and not weight losing raw material. So, this industry has also spreaded to the various parts of India like Coimbatore, Kanpur, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Kolkata, Ludhiana, Puducherry, and Panipat. Amongst all these centers, the one of the most important cotton textile center is Ahmedabad, which is known as the Manchester of India. So students, Ahmedabad is located in Gujarat on the banks of Sabarmati River. The first mill of Ahmedabad was established in 1859 and it soon became the second largest textile city of India after Mumbai. Ahmedabad was therefore often referred to as the Manchester of India. The favorable locational factors were responsible for the development of textile industry in Ahmedabad, because all the factors that are required for developing an industry were well available there. But in recent years, children, Ahmedabad textile mills have been facing some problems. Several textile mills have closed down. This is primarily due to the emergence of new textile centers in the country, as well as non-upgradation of machines and technology in the mills of Ahmedabad. So students, this was about the Manchester of India. Now anybody of you can tell me which could be the Manchester of Japan? So children, Osaka, it is an important textile center of Japan which is known as the Manchester of Japan. The textile industry developed in Osaka due to several geographical factors that were available, that were important for developing the textile industry there. Cotton is imported here from Egypt, India, China and USA, and the finished products is exported and has a good market due to the good quality and low price. Now, though it is one of the important textile cities in the country, the cotton textile industry of Osaka has been replaced by other industries such as iron and steel, machinery, shipbuilding, automobiles, electrical equipments and cement. So students, this was about the various industries, classification and types of industries that we discussed in the chapter.